Good. Okay. Well, welcome everybody to the Guilford Community Fund's annual meeting. This is the 68th year of the Guilford Community Fund. Held here in the Guilford Community Center, which is rather appropriate because everybody here is here because you're doing something for your community. Whether you live here, work here, or just volunteer here, or just pop in every now and then, you're here doing something, and you're here to be recognized for what you do for your community. And that's what the Community Fund does. We were formed years and years ago as just a group to do some work on behalf of some organizations in town. Our founders thought that we did some work and raised some money for the different agencies and organizations, and then they wouldn't have to spend their time and their effort and their work on trying to raise money, and they could really devote all their time to helping their patrons or their clients or whoever. So our whole purpose was just to help each of your agencies generate some funds and free up some time and energy for you to go do your thing. Having said that, what we do is we send out an appeal to the businesses and the professionals and the residents of Guilford and just ask them to help us help you. Well, you guys all know it, but the response from Guilford is great. The town is such a compassionate, sharing, and giving community. You all would have experienced it, but everybody on the Guilford Community Fund, we see it by the donations that come in and by the response that we get from the town each year, from the businesses each year. So it really is just a recognition of all the good people in town and the support that we can all give each other and help each other, especially the people that we have in need. And there's a good number of those people in town. That's just kind of a little bit of background. It's exactly what the Community Fund is supposed to be doing. Each year, I'm sorry, we are going to spend just about 10 or 15 minutes because this is our annual meeting and we've got to conduct some business, so we'll get through that and then we'll get to the good part. But every year we do, outside of our group, we do ask a representative from town to be our honorary chairperson. They usually a person with some usually positive notoriety in town. But this year we were honored to have Al Jacobs accept our offer to be our honorary chairperson. Al is a fixture in town, a gentleman, a tireless worker on behalf of Rotary and the Interact Club, which Rotary then supports through the schools. Probably a number of other things that I don't know about, but I do know of your work with Rotary, and I do know of your work with us. He very graciously wrote our appeal letter, which goes out in the fall. Whatever else we've asked him to do to show up to our meetings and do things, he's done. And he was in last year's Citizens or Fair Day Parade. Pretty face and a pretty car. That was that. He had a Corvette convertible to ride in. So that was a lot of fun. Al, we do thank you for being our chairperson and serving with us this year. We've got something, and did you decide? Do you want to say something? No? Okay. Then just something for your wall at Sunset Creek. Thank you so much, Al. We're gonna switch gears just a little bit here, and on behalf of the Guilford Community Fund, we do want to just extend our prayers and condolences to the family of Carl Bell Tracy, who recently passed. Carl also was a fixture in town, administrator, selectman, resident, business person, every way you can describe him, he was one of those in Guilford. He was to be our next honorary chairperson. So unfortunately, we'll look for somebody else again, but we did want to just extend our condolences to his family for his passing. For the Guilford Community Fund for our year, we have 2 fundraising events. We have our Valentine's Dance in February of each year. We are supported very generously by both the Knights of Columbus and by Johnsonville, who serves as our DJ there. So thank you to the Knights of Columbus and Johnsonville for supporting us in that event. We do get other sponsors and other donors and gifts for our raffle and things like that. So we do get a tremendous amount of support for the dance. We've got 3 ladies that do the bulk of the work. 2 are in the back, Fran and Pat. Nancy can't make it tonight, but those 3 ladies do a ton of behind-the-scenes work, hours and hours at home in preparation for the dance. So thank you for all the work that the 3 of you do. And from that dance, we generated a net of $4,500. So very good. We were very happy with the $4,500 we got from the dance. Our other big fundraising event is the Bill Rosa Memorial Golf Tournament. Last 7 or 8 years held at Madison Country Club. Last year we scheduled the golf tournament for the rainiest day of the year. It just happened to end up being the rainiest day of the year. We didn't schedule it that way, but we had to be rescheduled for a month later. And despite that, we had a good event. It was a nice day finally. Nobody got hurt. And from that event, we got just a little bit over $9,000 as our net proceeds from that event. Between those 2 fundraisers, that's 13.5, maybe a little bit more, right around that number. And we're very pleased with that because this has been a thing for the community fund for a good number of years. If we can raise that much money, that covers all of our expenses through the year. And that way we can proudly say that when we send our appeal to the residents and the people of Guilford actually give back to us in the appeal, all of that goes right out to all of you. We pay our bills, we got all that covered. Everything that they give back goes right back to you. And we're very pleased with that, very happy about that. That golf tournament doesn't happen without the support of the Rosa family. Bill Rosa Sr., years and years ago, was very prominent in the community and in the Guilford Community Fund, and his family sought to honor him with the golf tournament. And we did celebrate our 25th year last year with the Rosa family helping us. In conjunction with them, we get a tremendous amount of support from the marketplace at the Guilford Food Center. So they're very helpful to us, and it's very beneficial to us to generate a profit. And we want to thank the family and the marketplace. We do also want to thank Madison Country Club for hosting us and doing a ton of work before and after the tournament. So we're very happy to have your support for that event. This coming year, the golf tournament is going to be at the Madison Country Club again, and if people want to put it into your phones now, it's going to be October 8th. We'll have more materials coming out very shortly, but it will be October 8th at Madison. We do a couple other things in town. We volunteer our time and provide our expertise to do a couple tapings at the Guilford Community Television. Those tapings are for our own purpose. We'll advertise our own events and tell the community a little bit about what we do, but we also open it up to any of you agencies. If you are interested in having 10 or 15 minutes, we'll man the cameras, we'll set it up. You just come and you sit in the chair, we'll have somebody interview, and you'll have your chance to talk about a program that you're starting or something new that you're doing or anything you want to talk about. But get a hold of us. Have phone numbers on the website. Let us know if you're interested, and we'll arrange a night to do the taping at GCTV. So that's one of the things we do. Last year we did Guilford Interfaith Volunteers came in and spoke, and also Orchard House came and spoke. So anybody else that's interested, we'll gladly help you with that. Another thing that we do in town is just we march in the Guilford Fair Parade. We do invite our agencies to join us. We do usually get a pretty good turnout. We have our banner, we have signs for you guys, and then you guys bring your own banners and you wear your shirts. And it's just a big block of agencies in town that are helping everybody in town. And we kind of all just can walk in a big block and really show to the town of Guilford, these are the groups that are here to help families in town. One other thing that we did this year for the first time, we did participate in the Great Give. So that's actually a step up for us. We had never done that before, so that's something new. And I'm sure we'll learn some of the tricks about what you can. There's tricks to things to do for the Great Give to try to maximize your return and maximize what you get. But we did participate in that for the first time this year. And then I do think that one of our other efforts is to get a little bit better coordinated with our internet presence. We're a little bit better with our website. We've got a person that we've contracted to help us run that. We're better with our Facebook page, so like us on Facebook. And we're slowly getting better at using the interwebs to communicate with people and to advertise ourselves. And I did say interwebs just to annoy my kids if they're watching, because they hate when I say that. So, one other person or one other group to mention is a thank you to Casey's Pub. They very generously hosted or held something to benefit us twice this year, which I'm sure that they do try to rotate groups, but they helped us out twice this year, so we are very appreciative of that, and that's just another indication of how businesses support us in town. We've got to talk about our results and how we got to our results. We did, the results of the appeal. We did try something a little bit different this year. We sent out, in our appeal, we sent out an insert in the Guilford Courier. You see the label on the front of the Courier tells you to look inside, and then we did send out an insert. So we tried that for the first time this year, and then we followed that up with our traditional or typical appeal letter that went out in early December, mid-December. So we did try a little bit of a different approach in addition to our typical letter that everybody gets in the mail. We are sorry to report that our donations were down substantially from prior years. We did collect in our appeal about 30% less than what we typically do in the last few years. So we had fewer funds to give out. We had to have some frank discussions and some hard decisions to make about where we're going to allocate our funding. We did take that very, very seriously and considered everything as we did that. What made our process harder was the fact that for the agencies that presented to us in person in March and April, you guys did great. After the meetings, we were like, these presentations were good. The information was great. It seemed like every presentation was as good as or better than the last. So you guys did a great job of presenting to us. And that made it harder for what we had to do. But it also gives us, a pretty good description or a pretty good impression of just how you fulfill the needs of the community. So that's got two sides to it. It made our job harder. disperse back to the agencies this year. I imagine that there's times people can, people can just say, oh, I wish I could have done more. I will tell you that from our group, if we say that we wish we could have done more, we mean it. We really took it to heart that the proceeds were down. Like I said, we really had some good discussions about it, and we really do wish that number was bigger for all of you. We did have our struggles with it. So if we say it, I can tell you from our March, April, and May, our meetings, we really meant it. Which then gets us to the handing out of checks. What we'll do is, we need somebody to take a picture. Thank you, Sarah. I'll call your name. If your liaison is here, they'll come up with you. Your agency person. So we'll call your name. Come on up. We'll hand you the check. We'll smile for the camera, and then you got a couple minutes to talk about yourself, and then pass the microphone back to me, and we'll go on to the next one. We're going to go more or less in alphabetical order, except for one group that's got to clear out. So we'll do them first. So we're going to start with Simona Nairn and Gary Drake from Guilford Youth Mentoring. Come on up.
I'm Gary Drake. I'm the current president on the way out next week. I've been president for the last 3 years of Guilford Youth Mentoring. Just to give you a little bit of quick background, the program was started back in 2000. In 1999, Barbara Solomon, social worker from the high school, along with a lot of other townspeople, got together to try and find a way to help the youth of our school systems. And they came up with this Guilford Youth Mentoring Program. And what it is, it's a school-based program whereby an adult comes in once a week for an hour, spend with a child, and it's basically that child's hour. And research has shown, and as the results from our program, that every kid can benefit from an extra friend. Just to give you a little bit of background, that's what we're giving here. So in 2005, we started off as a high school program. Guilford Savings Bank was a big supporter initially. So the program started with all of these suits from Guilford Savings Bank at the high school. It was only in the high school system. And it was very funny to see these blue suits walking down the hallway, and these kids following behind because they didn't want to be associated with the blue suit up ahead of them. But the program morphed into, by 2005, we were in every school in the district. And currently we have 150 mentors a week coming into the school systems. That works out to be 6,000 hours a school year. It's a school-based program, so it's only during the year. We do not see the kids outside of the school. So that's 6,000 hours, and currently we've had over 475 kids come through the program. So that's a lot of kids that we touched one at a time. So it's been, Simona's going to talk a little bit about and what the perspective from the kids' side. Just to give you an idea, once a child gets a mentor, 65% of them last longer than 5 years. And I currently have a mentee I started in 2nd grade. He's now going to be a senior next year in high school. So it's just, once the relationship is developed, it carries on and it just takes on a life of its own. Just to throw a little plug out there, if there's any men out there that have a little hour spare, maybe we could really use more mentors. So anyway, without that, I would just quickly introduce. So Simone is our director, one of our directors in the program, and at the end of each year, the seniors write an essay. We have a small scholarship program for the mentors who come through the program, and they write an essay. And to listen to these, to read these essays, lets you know exactly what we're doing for these kids. It's absolutely amazing. So what Simone's going to do here is just read a little excerpt from one of the essays that a student had handed in.
So I brought an essay from a female student who graduated a couple of years ago, and she had been with her mentor for 5 years. And you'll see when I read, she's clearly a talented writer. Not all of our students write like this, but we're certain that they all feel the same way. And I really think she captured what the program gives to youth in Guilford. When I first started this experience, I was only 14 years old, and I had no idea who I was. I was lonely in a crowd of my peers and would often spend my lunches in the guidance office. My few friends and I would meet for lunch groups there as well, and our counselor suggested that I meet with a woman who had just joined the program. At first, I pushed against this. I didn't want to let anyone new into my life, and I was scared. My counselor saw through this, however, and knew I needed someone to guide me and stand by me. She saw something in me, a yearning for connection that I didn't even know was there. Setting up my initial meeting with my mentor, despite my apprehension at the time, is something I can't express my gratitude enough for. She and I have met nearly every week since, and she has taught me so many things about myself and the world. She taught me that I wasn't alone in my struggles. She showed me unconditional acceptance, no matter how stressed, sad, or angry I was. By coming back every week for lunch, I saw that I meant something, and that it was okay for me to express feelings that may not have been the prettiest. Through our talks, we both learned so much about ourselves and each other. We discovered we weren't alone, and that has given me an internal strength that I never expected to have. My mentor has inspired me to chase my dreams and to believe in myself. She supported my every adventure and achievement, pushing me to see my own talents and work. It didn't happen overnight, but I have come to see myself so much more positively thanks to her encouragement. In her past struggles, I see my own, but more importantly, I see what I want to become in her present. The life she lives and has shared with me over the years pushes me to build a life for myself like she has. Without my mentor, I don't think I would be here today. I haven't been without support in the last 5 years, thanks to my mentor and the mentoring program. There's no way for me to truly explain the gratitude I feel for this program. It's a part of me, and it will be for the rest of my life. I hope I can come back in the future and do for a student what my mentor and the program have done for me.
Up next, we will have a representative from the Guilford ABC program for reading.
Many people in town don't really understand how the girls get year, a resident director, and a part-time cook. These girls are vetted. It's a national organization that is now 44 years old. It will have our 45th anniversary this coming year. These girls are extremely talented. They come from inner cities, and they come from challenging, disadvantaged communities, educational communities, but many of them have parents and a strong support system, but obviously very busy. They get here, and it's a cultural difference. It's an educational standard that they haven't been set to do yet, but they want to succeed. They leave home at 14 as if they were going to a boarding school, and they come here and we watch them grow. There is an immense support system. They each have a social advisor, someone to talk to with them, someone to that, someone who's a mentor. They have an academic advisor who meets with their high school counselor, watches their grades and monitors them. We have Gale tutors come in once a week that volunteer, come in and spend study hours. They have study hours every evening from 7 to 9. They volunteer at Hole in the Wall. For many of you who may not know Hole in the Wall, but many of you do, Hole in the Wall provides 50% of our operating expense and growing. They are now on the green. They now have brought in furniture. They have estate sales coming in. Patty Sullivan's our manager for the last 7 years, and she is rocking. She is doing fabulous. But more importantly, at the end of the year, we just started about 5 years ago doing a end-of-year celebration. So much is completely run 100% volunteer. The only asset we have is the house. The house was purchased by the original people who started the nonprofit. We own that house, and that house we have to pay taxes on, operating expenses to just keep it going. Every single person involved, about 25 of us, are completely 100% volunteers. But what you get out of it is what you put into it, as we all know. And to see these girls come out as leaders, come out as attorneys, many go on full 100% scholarships. They've gone to George Washington University. We have some going to USC in California. We have many return. We have over 62 alumni that come back and give back each year. And this year, our end-of-year celebration, which I started talking about, we asked the seniors to say thank you to their host families, their mentors, and to the board, and say goodbye and talk about where they're going. And this gives them a little 15-minute window to talk about their experience here the last 4 years. Many of them come in kicking and screaming. Many come in with a chip on their shoulder. But so many of them leave with a college career, a college track program, and a dream that they never thought they would fulfill. Many of them, many times, are the first ones in their family going to college. And this year was especially, we bring 2 or 3 alumni back. And this year we had a senior come back and graduated last year, got into Wellesley, and wasn't very excited about going to Wellesley College. Many of you know that's sort of second-tier Ivy League. She was disappointed because her sister had gone there. She didn't get into her top 3 choices. She thought she wasn't good enough, and that perhaps she was just getting accepted because her sister went there, because that's where she was supposed to go. And she came back to say the first 6 months she struggled with that, but because of the support she had here, she was never homesick. She had her study habits down. She made the dean's list, and she wrote an essay at the end of the year, which brought herself to tears, explaining why she thought she wasn't good enough in an English class where she was asked to write what I could do and how I would stay healthy. So for her to come back and share that story with us was so meaningful, and again, a full circle of what we do here. So thank you all for your support.
I don't think so. Is anybody here from the American Red Cross? No, okay. Next we have Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Ellen? No? Oh, okay. Then how about before and after school? Jessica?
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Catlin. I'm the director of the Guilford Before and After School Care Program. I've been with the program for just over 11 years now, the director for 3. In case some of you don't know, the Guilford Before and After School Care Program is run in 3 of our 4 elementary schools here in town. We serve over 338 children, all living here in Guilford. Although we are located in the schools, we are not affiliated with the schools, so we do pay rent to be in the space that we are in. We work very closely with Guilford Public Schools to be able to provide much-needed service, childcare for the families of our community on days that school may be closed, before school care hours, which is 7 to 9, after school, 3:25 to 6, as well as during vacation times when school is not open, but however, as we know, parents still need to work. So that being said, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background for when I applied for the grant. I applied for that because we are state licensed, however, we do not receive state funding. So therefore, in order for us to provide financial assistance to those families that need it, that responsibility does fall solely on the before and after school care program. This grant enables us to provide that much needed assistance to the members of our community, as well as maintaining our goal to ensure that we are never turning a family away based on their financial situation. So again, we'd like to thank the Guilford Community Fund for allowing us to do that and continue to provide much needed service for our community.
Next we have the Guilford Beers. Lauren?
Hi, thank you. I'm Lauren Weibrecht. I'm the Vice President of Outpatient Services at the Clifford Beers Clinic. And Clifford Beers is an outpatient mental health agency that works with children and families. We have our main office in New Haven, but we've had a satellite office in Guilford for many years. And we're mostly working with kids who have a variety of mental health and behavioral health needs along with their families. So we see kids who have school issues, who have various trauma exposure, parenting issues, the whole kind of variety of things. And this year, what we've been really excited about is we've actually relocated our Guilford office. It was a little further up the Post Road, and we've brought it back down this way, and have been able to expand our clinical staff. We've historically only been open a couple of days, 2 days a week. We've had a very part-time clinician there, and we've really been trying to meet the demands of the community. There's a real need for mental health services, and we've been able to more than triple our mental health clinician availability. We've opened our office 5 days a week. We've been able to provide initial services in the office, and we're hoping for this coming year that we're going to be able to provide psychiatry as well as some care coordination services. The mission of Clifford Beers is really providing whole family care that really looks at the kid in multiple domains of their life. So we're looking at how some behaviors that manifest can be targeted through not just talk therapy, but working with other people involved, like the school system, other people in their family. So we really appreciate this, and thank you very much.
Up next, we have Guilford Interfaith Volunteers. How many are going to come up?
Oh, the three ladies, so
Okay,
whoever you want first.
let's see. Let's do Meals on Wheels first.
My name is Christy Burton. I've been the director of Meals on Wheels for about a year. We serve over 200 Guilford residents. We deliver meals for the 7 days of the week, including all the holidays, Christmas, Easter, and Thanksgiving. We deliver about 80 plus meals a day. and we deliver about close to 25,000 meals a year. We have 85 great volunteers who serve as drivers for us, and the program serves not only to deliver a nutritious meal, but it also is basically serves as kind of a safety check-in for all of our clients and some companionship as well. And we're an organization too who gets no state money, so we truly appreciate this. And I will read something as well, because I think this little letter from a client kind of more eloquently states how much the program is appreciated, better than I can say myself. So this is from one of our clients. It has now been a year since I found out that I was a diabetic and began using Meals on Wheels. I've shared my progress with you before, but I wanted to give you this update because my doctor can't believe it. However, even he admits that you can't fake a blood test. My A1C last September was 14.4, very dangerous. 3 months later, it was 7.1, much better. At 6 months, it was 6.8, very good. And now it's down to 6.5, which is almost normal, non-diabetic. This progress has been made possible in large part due to Meals on Wheels. My physician thought I would be on insulin for the rest of my life. I never took it. The diet worked. Now, through diet and some minimal medication, I am only a few tenths of a point away from non-diabetic numbers. I can't thank you all enough. You cooked for me and delivered healthful food to me when I was too weak to care for myself. You modified my order by giving me double veggies and omitting the potatoes and pasta that I can't have. I have a cousin who was hospitalized in May in a diabetic coma. He's only just this week been released from rehab. It's a miracle that he lived. He was in Yale intensive care for nearly 4 months. I am looking into Meals on Wheels for him in Bethany. Your organization helped save my life, and I'm confident that the people in Bethany may help him too. I wish he lived in Guilford. Perhaps if I continue to get stronger, he will. Thank you very much.
Let's go with Charlie's Closet.
I just started at Charlie's Closet on September 1st of this year, so coming up on a year. Our mission is to provide medical equipment to anybody that needs it really at a very reasonable cost. And so we have people donate equipment to us, anything from hospital bed to wheelchair to walker to incontinence products. And people can come by Charlie's Closet and take these things out or keep them for a minimum donation of $1 per item. So, so it's very reasonable that they can get these very expensive items and help out the quality of their lives. So we get people from whether it's the elderly or somebody who's had an accident or somebody who's just been sick, come by and get whatever it is they need. That's basically it.
And then friendly visiting and then Guilford food.
Great, thank you very much. So before I start, I want to thank you for having us and giving us an opportunity to speak. My name is Anne Marie Gunn, and I am the director of the Friendly Visiting Program. And I have approximately about 48 volunteers and about 52 matches. And the program, I think, is just a very pure, just a lovely volunteer opportunity to do for someone. You go into their home and you visit with someone who's lonely or isolated, And you play cards, you can go for a walk, just have a cup of tea. That interaction makes such a difference in their life. You may be the only person they see for that week. And so it's just such an important program. And it started out of Meals on Wheels. We would have a driver that would come back and say, you know, they love the meal, but they're lonely and they want someone to talk to. So that's how it started, and Christy's been a great help about, she's the director of Meals on Wheels, and just saying she'll go out and she'll meet with someone. She'll say, Anne-Marie, you're going to want to go and visit with them. And so I do that, and then we'll have a driver that came back. As a matter of fact, last week the driver would come in and she had a great smile, and she was new. And I looked at her and I was like, you'd be a great friendly visitor. And she's like, well, as a matter of fact, I met someone on the route I'd love to visit with. So I went out and met with the client, and we're going to set that up. And so I think the program is just very unique, and it makes a big difference in someone's life. So again, we appreciate that. And then for the food day, I co-coordinate the food day with the social services department. And we have about 50 volunteers right now. And the reason we have so many is for intake and for distribution. So we have to have people who get the food in and organize it and make it nice. And then we have the volunteers for distribution to get that food out to the client. And we serviced, I know last year, over 250 families. And I know sometimes people think, well, Guilford doesn't, need a food bank. But we do. We have people that are in need. So again, thank you.
The Guilford Center for Children. Lisa.
Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lisa Jones. I've been the director at Guilford Center for Children Early Education, sister program to Jessica's program before and after school for almost 3 years now. And we're in a great year of growth. I'm happy to report that next year we will be offering our services to 14 more Guilford families. We'll be taking our enrollment from 64 to 78. Thank you so much for this money. This goes to families that need our assistance to remain a working family, to keep the family unit together. They need to be able to go to work and leave their children someplace where they will be educated, well cared for, and be treated as a whole person, and that's what we do. To summarize where these donations go to specifically, I can think of 2 families this year. One mom came to me very early on in the fall. Her son had just started, it was October, and she had just lost her job. And she said to me with tears in her eyes, I'm so sorry, I can't believe we're going to have to go. And I said, hold on, you don't need to leave. And that's because of funding like this. Another grandmother came to me who had just lost her daughter, her grown daughter, and she was now responsible for raising 2 young boys, very active, happy young boys, a working grandmother with a working husband. And with tears in her eyes, with tears in my eyes, she's like, I just don't know how it could work. I just don't know how we're going to come up with tuition. And again, I could say, it's okay, you don't have to. You're covered, Guilford loves you back. And you're still with us today. So thank you very much.
Let's go with lifelinks. Wayne.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you just call me? I don't know, some stuff you have to It's like photography is not going to be my
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Wayne Jarvis. I'm Executive Director of Lifelinks. We are a nonprofit addictions recovery support service. We've been in Guilford for almost 20 years. As you may know, substance abuse is a relapsing brain disease and the cause of many unintended deaths. Our program provides non-clinical but necessary supports to people who are in and seeking recovery from substance use. We provide housing, recovery coaching, transportation, sober coaching, in an effort to help people initiate and sustain long-term recovery. The relapsing part of addiction is really problematic because people keep re-entering the system. It's admit, treat, release. Admit, treat, release. If we can help people sustain a robust recovery and reclaim a lifestyle that allows them to live like healthy human beings, we eliminate a lot of the problems that addiction causes in society. And we too do not receive any public funding, and the funding that we receive from the Guilford Community Fund goes a long way in helping us achieve our goals. So we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Looking for Linda from Literacy Volunteers.
Well, my name is Linda Lipchuk, and I've been with Literacy Volunteers for about 10 years now, both as a tutor and as the treasurer. The purpose of our organization is to teach English. We started in 1979 when a bunch of refugees came over from Laos, and a grassroots organization of people started to teach them English. The way we do this is we provide on-site group training for volunteers, and then they learn to teach English without knowing a single word of another language. At the end of each curriculum, we match the tutors with students, and the training begins on a one-to-one basis, all confidential. One-to-one basis ensures that the training is specific to the needs of each student. For example, I was a tutor for a number of years, and in fact, two of my students actually live in Guilford right now. One is working, and one is has just recently left the position so that she could go back to college. When these people first came to the country, they didn't speak a word of English, and they needed employment. So what I did was I tailored their lessons to what they needed. I directed them not only to basic living, such as grocery shopping, but also for job applications, reviewing company employment handbooks, even understanding the rules of the road so that they could get driver's licenses. I actually took them for a few driving lessons. My husband wasn't too happy about that. Anyway, my most proud moment for them is they both became U.S. citizens. So for perspective, we have about 125 volunteer tutors, and they have ongoing one-on-one relationships with students, about 170 students. Students are from about 35 countries. And while they're primarily from South and Central Africa, they're also from China, Eastern Europe, and the Middle East. Students are referred to us from a multitude of sources, including employers, churches, schools, soup kitchens, libraries. I think you get the picture. In addition to our tutor volunteers, we also have volunteers who provide the tutor training classes. We have people that interview the students and volunteers. They help in the office. Our office is located in the lower level of the Westbrook Library and is staffed by only 2 part-time people, so we're almost completely volunteer. In addition to Guilford, our span of coverage is 10 other shoreline towns, as far east as Lyme. And we believe that we are reaching the tip of the iceberg as it comes to individuals that need literacy training here on the shoreline. So we really do appreciate every dollar that we get from this so that we can expand our reach. Thank you.
Is there a representative from NeighborWorks? Orchard House.
Thanks. Is this loud enough? Can everybody hear me? I couldn't hear some of the speakers. First of all, I want to say, we were part of the parade for years. I don't know what happened. It was great, yeah, so let's see if we can reconnect. I'm Phil Giuliano, former Assistant Director of the Orchard House Medical Adult Daycare, one of the founding members, 1982, matter of fact, and I had some issues with my tissues. I used to say this, okay? And 7 years ago, I had to stop working, and then I was called back to do what's called a MAC group, MAC, Men as Caregivers. In fact, we just had a group today. So if anybody here knows of any men in the community, just contact myself or Mary Margaret at the Orchard House Adult Daycare Center. I do have something written up, so if you can just bear with me. I'm Phil Giuliano, former Assistant Director of Orchard House. Presently, I'm involved in a variety of projects, including direct services to our clients and families and administrative duties, such as representing the Orchard House in development and community education. Tonight, I'm representing our Director, Mary Margaret Mandel, our Board of Directors, clients and families, volunteers, and our professional staff, nurses, CNAs, and drivers who care for our clients and their families on a daily basis. We cover about an 8-town area. We have 4 buses that go out each day, bring in anywhere from 25 to 40 clients, depending on the day. And they stay with us throughout the day. I just want to mention this, a recent health, education, and welfare report stated that there are about 5,000 adult daycare centers across the nation. We, the Orchard House, are part of the Connecticut Association of Adult Daycare, with about 50 such centers. We were the 18th in 1982 when we first started. So we've been in business for about 38 years. Essentially, we are a freestanding, non-residential facility providing services to individuals outside of their homes. Our primary mission is to prevent premature institutionalization and also needed respite care for primary caregivers. When we first started, and we're probably going to end up doing this again, we had a support group. It was one of the first along the shoreline. When we first started, we covered the city of New Haven, all the way up to Westbrook, and had about 60 to 80 clients per day at that time. So it's to prevent premature institutionalization and give needed respite care to primary caregivers. We're part of the healthcare continuum in that we meet the present health and long-term care needs of older adults. Our clients present with a variety of maladies such as strokes, Parkinson's disease, cardiovascular issues, dementia such as Alzheimer's, and now, you know, it's more sophisticated now. There's a whole mess of different maladies, Jacob's disease, etc. But clients with TBI and other physical or mental issues. While our clients are in our care, our approach to their care is holistic in the sense that our goal is to meet the physical, mental, and emotional needs of each of our clients. That's our staff primary goal. With regard to funding, our status as a freestanding center is important to understand. it is the most challenging in terms of raising needed funding. And I thank Sean and his group and the town of Guilford so much for our day-to-day operations. We're not part of a healthcare or hospital setting where funding would come from the parent organization. Rather, we rely on the towns that we serve. And I have to tell you, all the towns that we serve, and especially Guilford, right from the very beginning. And I can remember the Public Works coming down and helping us take care of the back of the building and the side of the building, etc. So we go back a long time. And so in this capacity, Guilford and the Guilford Community Fund has always played a positive role since our start in 1982. We're grateful to you and your group, and thank you all again from our director, board of directors, client families, professional staff for your generous, much-needed funds. Thank you so much. God bless.
Let's do Ken from Sarah. Sarah.
Thank you, Sean. My name is Ken Alberti. I'm the Executive Director of the Sarah Foundation. For those of you who are not aware, Sarah was founded in 1957 by 3 families right here in Guilford. We now serve folks across the whole shoreline, but certainly Guilford-based organization. We provide, through the Sarah family of agencies, programs and services for individuals with intellectual and other disabilities. That includes everything from birth to 3 early intervention services, which we're the 3rd largest provider in the state of Connecticut, all the way through senior care and living, so residential housing and support. Our goal is really to allow individuals to live independently within the community, fulfilling and productive lives. We provide transitional services for folks with disabilities as they transition out of high school-based supports. Oftentimes families say, okay, now what's next? And so we're there to hopefully help pick up, whether that's to help find job placements, provide recreational activities, day programs, supports, really serving the full spectrum of needs for individuals, again, with intellectual and other disabilities. Unlike many of you, we actually do receive funding from the state. But if you haven't noticed the last several years, that's been challenging in a whole different way. And this funding from the state is really interesting, how the state funds residential programs, right? They provide a roof shelter that provides some funding for day programs. But the grant that the Guilford Community Fund is supporting, that we've applied for this year and we've supported for many years, is our recreational program. And that's a program that the state sees as non-essential. That's not an essential program. We know that it's critical, right? To live a fulfilling, productive life, not being home isolated, right? Being to have activities, social interactions, connections, group events to go to on a regular basis. Those are really critical programs for individuals to live those engaged lives and to live independently. So the funding from the Guilford Community Fund and the community at large has really helped to cover that difference where the state says, we aren't going to fund that because it's not essential, and we know it's critical. So thank you all for the continued support.
Shoreline Outdoor Education Center. Anybody from the VNA? Okay. How about Women and Family Life?
For the support. For those of you that don't know, my name is Megan Scanlon. I'm the Executive Director at the Women Family Life Center. We've been an organization located in Guilford, actually started out as St. George's Church in 1989, became a nonprofit in 1991, and we've been serving women and families primarily in Guilford, but expanded across the shoreline, that are going through really difficult life challenges and life crises. So we, through non-clinical support, education, and community, we help turn what is normally a time for many families of fear, isolation, and financial distress into a positive life change. And our 4 goals are moving them toward economic security and success, freedom from violence and harassment, access to safe and affordable housing, and rebuilding their own confidence and their own network of support and community. So that's what we do. We feel really fortunate that most of the people in the room we partner with, so like Clifford Beers, the food pantry, GCC has referred some of our neighbors to us for assistance as well. So I also just want to thank all of our partners in the room, because we wouldn't be able to do a lot of the work that we do without all of you. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this grant. We don't get any state or federal funding either. And many of the families that we're seeing are just on the cusp. One crisis kind of puts them in danger of either losing their housing or losing some kind of basic needs. So we're dealing with families that are living on the shoreline and in Guilford that are on a basic needs budget. We actually just had a meeting about this morning. Guilford actually has 25% of their households living on a basic needs budget, and that's factoring in that rent in that budget is $1,000. So if you take into account that most families are paying more than that, our number increases. So this is really critical for us because we're dealing with a lot of individuals that don't qualify for any state or federal assistance. They don't qualify for SNAP or health insurance. So we're really fortunate. And I just wanted to share a quote from one of the women that we served. She had a lot of things going on recently. So she has been through our guided assistance program, which is our one-on-one work with our social worker on staff. She's been through our lawyer time, which is legal education. And she's also taken our financial education workshop, and this was her quote. "I thought I was alone and I had to do everything by myself. I was afraid and didn't know what I didn't know. Women and Family Life Center provided resources I never knew were available: financial, legal, emotional, practical, and social. But mostly, despite my fear, I felt safe, that someone believed me and had the knowledge and resources to help guide me. My journey was and still is difficult, but the persistent support of people at Women and Family Life Center have made that journey a little bit easier. I know I'm not alone. These strangers are actually angels. I am not alone." So thank you, because this really does have a huge impact on the lives of the families that we're serving. So thank you.
I never was good at the alphabet, so we've got BH Care, but it should have been at the beginning, but BH Care, we'll start with, I think, Paula. You're going to do the domestic violence part? Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Paula, and I am here to represent the Umbrella Center of BH Care, and it's nice to see some of our partners here, that we actually serve victims and children of domestic violence and also sexual assault. We work very closely with these families that come in desperate, alone, and traumatized. And what we do is we really work together with Guilford to be able to work on the lethality assessment program, which is working with the police officers for the highest risk victims and survivors that we serve that are at risk of being murdered due to the violence that they're dealing with. We have community education, support groups that we have here in Guilford, and also 24-hour hotline and counseling services. We also do advocacy on a court-based level, so when people have to go to court, they're not feeling alone. It is a true privilege and honor to be here today as one of my neighbors as well. I live in Madison, so I'm excited to be here. And really, when we think about these families and the impact that this grant can serve, is that we're able to actually help them directly and give them a wraparound, holistic approach. And we really thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
And also from BH Care, representative speaking about Harbor Health. Sarah, right?
Thank you so much for this generous gift. My name is Sarah Magistro. I'm the clinical site director for BH Care in Brantford. We service 6 shoreline towns, Guilford being one of them, and we are the local mental health authority. So we are the safety net for people that need mental health and substance use treatment. We currently serve approximately 160 Guilford clients. So as we talked about earlier, some people think that people in Guilford don't need a food bank or don't need other services. There's also that misconception that people that, live in this area maybe don't need mental health or substance abuse services, but our numbers tell us otherwise. We offer many, many services, but I'm going to focus mainly tonight on one of our new programs, and that's our Medication-Assisted Treatment Program, MAT, and that provides services for people with opiate use disorder mainly. As you know, we're in the midst of a terrible opiate epidemic. Just got breaking news on my phone today that 6 people have died in Hartford for what they believe is fentanyl-laced heroin. So it's not going away anytime soon. So we've got to find a way to help people, to give people a chance of staying alive, to live another day, and to get recovery. And that's what we really believe at BH Care. And this money will help us to support clients that maybe don't have insurance or their insurance isn't too great and it doesn't allow them to access the services that they really need. We believe in a wraparound approach. We just don't give medication to somebody and send them out the door. We want to give them treatment. We want to use our wraparound services such as case management and housing to really give them the supports that they need to be successful. It's a layered problem, so we're handling it in a layered way. We also offer, regular mental health services too for people with a range of mental health problems, for people that are just, going through daily stressors that may need additional coping and additional support, to people with severe and persistent mental illness like schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. So we really appreciate being here tonight, and we really appreciate the donation. Thank you so much.
So we just have just a couple, just short pieces of business on our end to attend to, and then we'll invite everybody that is here from an agency to come up, and we'll get a big group picture with the big golf tournament chat that we have up here. But the two pieces of business is, one is just to so I was standing there and a couple people looked over and said, "Thanks, Sean," but it's really thank you to, well, if you're not already, you're already all standing. Everybody in our group that's here is standing. It's all, Adrian and Mike? Standing. It's these guys. It's us as a group. There's 16 to 20 of us at any time during the course of the year. These guys work like crazy. The hours they put in, the effort they put in going out into the community, talking to people, asking people for money and donations every 6 months, for something for what we're doing, knowing that everybody else is asking them also. It's this group. It's a fantastic group of people. I couldn't be happier to be part of it. And thank you to everybody in the community fund, whether you're here or not. But thank you to everybody in the community fund for everything that you do to then help these good people in their agencies. Yeah. The second item of business is saying goodbye to some people in our group. We've got a few people leaving. It's like a perfect storm of somebody's moving, somebody's home life situation changed and they don't feel they can commit the time. Somebody's just tired of everything that we have to do because they're so busy with everything else. Somebody that is just, volunteers at 6 places and we're the 7th, and you got to draw the line somewhere. So we are losing Fran Wayner. She's leaving us. Pat Corradino.
I'll still be right there.
Pat Corradino, Ashley Hillier, and Deborah Cutler Ortiz. But Pat and Fran, if you two would come up. Do you recognize her from last year? Yeah, it's funny. For people that have been in other meetings before, Lydia was the creative one, so I'm the dry one, and it's like the certificates are all going to be the same. So that's I can't do a variety of certificates. So, but gosh, I mean, we're losing 2 people that have worked so hard for us in the last 4 or 5 years, especially like I mentioned earlier, the Valentine's dance. We're losing hours, we're losing time, we're losing friends, we're losing compassion, and we're losing reason and calmness in some of our meetings. We're losing the best. It's the best minutes we've ever had done. You know it. Your minutes are better than everybody's. Sorry to offend the secretaries that came before you, but there's no other way to describe it. The organizational skills, the communication skills, just your energy, your ideas. We're losing a lot, and I just want to recognize the 2 of you for the selflessness and the caring and the compassion that you gave to the community fund. So if you could give these 2 ladies here a round of applause for their
I just want to say that, first off, Pat and I really, while we're off the board, we're still going to be around helping, especially with the dance. And Sean, you did a remarkable job this year as president. I just wanted to acknowledge that. You had some big shoes to fill when you took over from Lydia, who was here for 10 plus years. And everyone, I think Sean deserves a round of applause for it.
So wrapping things up, if anybody's interested in joining our board, we've got 4 vacancies. Well, no, I was serious. We are going to start looking for for some people to replace the ones that we're losing. And if you are interested, get a hold of us. Our phone numbers are on our website now, and you just give us a call, and we'll be happy to talk with you about that. September 21st, the Guilford Fair Parade. I think the Rotary is going to ask us to maybe organize things a little bit differently than in the past, but we're going to talk to all of you and invite you all to walk with us that day, September 21st. And then October 8th is the date of our golf tournament, barring another 100-year storm. But other than that, thank you all for coming. Thank you for everything that you do for the people of Guilford. Thanks to the board. Let's take this big picture and go. Thank you, everybody. Go in front of the painting. How might people do that? One person. Come on now. You want to hold the check?
All right, everybody snuggle up.
Are we all in, Scarlana?
Yeah.
One more row in the front.
One more round? One more round?
Fran, you know what to do.
Yeah.
That side. Like you like each other. There you go. All right, I got you. Three, two, one. Say charity.
Charity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta be there.
Take care.